In 10 years, your memories will fade, but GTA 6, it'll look exactly the same, and that's not a bad thing. That's actually genius, because while Rockstar is out here creating what everyone's calling the most realistic game ever made, they're playing a completely different game than you think. This isn't about copying reality, it's about creating something that'll make reality jealous. And today I'm going to show you exactly why GTA 6's graphics will outlive the very world it's trying to recreate. What's up, everyone? If you're hyped about GTA 6, smash that like button, because we're diving deep into something nobody's talking about. Not the release date, not the map size, but something way more important, the visual immortality of this game. Here's the thing about chasing photorealism. It's a trap. A beautiful, expensive, eventually outdated trap that's claimed countless games over the years. Remember Crysis? Back in 2007, people literally said, can it run Crysis? Because the graphics were that insane. It looked real. It looked like the future. PC gamers were upgrading their entire rigs just to see it run smoothly. It was the benchmark, the gold standard, the game that made other games look like cartoons. But here's the brutal truth. Go boot up Crysis today, and yeah, it looks dated. Not terrible, but definitely dated. You can see the cracks forming, the slightly off-skin textures that look more like rubber than flesh, the weird plasticky shine on surfaces that no amount of bloom can hide, the almost but not quite physics that seemed revolutionary then but feels stiff now. And it's not Crysis's fault. The developers did everything right. They pushed boundaries, they innovated, they created something genuinely groundbreaking. The problem is reality itself. Real life doesn't stand still. Your eyes don't stand still. Every single year you get used to better phone cameras with computational photography, better TV screens with higher resolutions, better movies with insane CGI. Your brain constantly recalibrates what realistic means. So that game that looked photorealistic 5 years ago, it starts looking like a wax museum, a very expensive, very detailed wax museum, but still off. You can feel it even if you can't explain it, but here's where Rockstar is playing a completely different game. They learned from watching every other studio fall into this trap. The artistic choice, GTA 6 isn't trying to be real, it's trying to be hyper-real, and there's a massive game-changing difference that most people completely miss. Think about it like this. The Mona Lisa doesn't look exactly like a person if you really analyse it. The proportions are slightly off, the colours aren't perfectly accurate to human skin, but it's still absolutely mesmerising 500 years later, hanging in the Louvre with millions of people travelling across the world just to see it. Why? Because Da Vinci didn't just copy reality like a camera, he interpreted it. He enhanced it. He made thousands of tiny artistic choices that added up to something greater than reality itself. That's exactly what Rockstar is doing with GTA 6, and it's brilliant. Every sunset in this game isn't just a sunset you'd see on any random evening. It's the sunset, the ideal sunset. The colours are slightly more vibrant, more saturated, more alive. The rays of light cut through the humid Florida air just a little more dramatically, creating these god rays that look like something out of a painting. When rain hits the pavement, it doesn't just look wet, it looks movie wet, cinematic wet. The kind of rain you see in a Blade Runner scene or a Michael Mann film. You see, reality is actually kind of boring sometimes. Real Miami on a random Tuesday afternoon, it's just okay, it's humid, it's bright, it's fine. But Leonida, in GTA 6, every single frame is directed like a blockbuster film. Every street corner is composed. Every lighting scenario is intentional. Every reflection has purpose. And that intentionality, that artistic vision, that's what keeps games looking fresh decades later. It's the difference between a photograph and a painting. Both have value, but one captures a moment while the other captures a feeling. But graphics aren't just about pretty pictures sitting still in a screenshot. They're about movement, about life, about believability in motion. And this is where GTA 6 is about to completely revolutionise what we expect from open world games. Rockstar has spent over a decade, possibly even longer, studying human movement in ways that would make motion capture studios jealous. This isn't just standard motion capture where you slap some sensors on an actor and call it a day. This is behavioural animation. Deep, psychological, incredibly detailed behavioural animation. The way someone shifts their weight when they're nervous during a conversation. How people actually run when they're genuinely scared versus when they're just late for work. The subtle head tilts during dialogue that show someone is really listening versus just waiting to talk. The tiny shoulder adjustments when someone's carrying something heavy. The way feet actually plant and pivot when changing direction at speed. These micro animations, these tiny details that most people can't even consciously consciously identify. They're what our brains actually notice and respond to. Not whether every single pore is individually rendered in 4K, not whether the subsurface scattering on skin is perfectly accurate, but whether the movement feels right on an instinctual level. Think about how you can tell when someone's walking weird in a game even if you can't explain exactly what's wrong. That's your brain detecting bad animation. It's looking for thousands of tiny signals that say, this is a real human, and when those signals are missing, the whole illusion crumbles. And here's the beautiful part that nobody talks about. Good animation ages like fine wine. Go watch a Pixar movie from 15 years ago like Wall-E or Ratatouille. Sure, the texture resolution might be lower by today's standards. The particle effects aren't as dense, but the animation, still absolutely incredible, still expressive, still full of life and personality, still able to make you feel emotions for a literal rat or a trash compacting robot. GTA 6 is building on this exact foundation, but applying it to an open world with hundreds of unique character types. And when animation is crafted this carefully, this thoughtfully, it doesn't age, it becomes timeless, it becomes art. The lighting masterclass. Now let's talk about the real secret weapon, lighting. You could have the most detailed 3D model in the world, but with bad lighting it looks like plastic. But nail the lighting, even simple models look incredible. GTA 6's lighting system is doing something special. It's not just ray tracing everything and calling it a day. It's using what's called stylized realism. The lights are placed with intention. Shadows are deepened for drama. The golden hour doesn't just happen randomly, it's designed. Look at games like Red Dead Redemption 2. That game came out in 2018 and it still looks breathtaking. Why? Because the lighting was crafted, not just calculated. Every campfire scene feels warm. Every storm feels threatening. The light tells a story and lighting doesn't age. Great cinematography from the 1970s still looks amazing because light is light. The principles don't change. A well-lit scene in GTA 6 will look just as moody and atmospheric in 2035 as it does on day one. The detail philosophy. Here's something counterintuitive. Sometimes less detail ages better than more. Rockstar knows this. They're not putting every single microscopic detail into every surface. Instead, they're being smart about where to put detail. The things you actually look at, insanely detailed. That random wall you drive past at 80 miles per hour, good enough. This is called detail hierarchy, and it's an art form. Your brain doesn't notice what's missing, it notices what's wrong, and by focusing detail where it matters, GTA 6 avoids the uncanny valley trap that kills so many realistic games. Plus, this approach means the game actually runs well. A beautiful game that chugs at 20 FPS ages terribly, but a beautiful game that runs smoothly, that's forever. The style immortality. Let's talk about games that never age. Okami, Wind Waker, Team Fortress 2, what do they have in common? Strong artistic style. GTA has always had a style, that slightly satirical, sun-soaked crime movie aesthetic, and GTA 6 is cranking that style up to 11. The neon signs aren't just bright, they're saturated. The chrome on cars doesn't just shine, it gleams. Everything's turned up just 10% past reality. This stylization is like armor against aging. When a game commits to a visual identity, it becomes timeless. Nobody plays Wind Waker and thinks these graphics are dated. They think this game has style. GTA 6 is doing the same thing, just in a different direction. It's creating a version of reality that's more exciting, more dramatic, more alive than the real thing. The future-proof tech. And finally, let's talk about the tech backbone. Rockstar isn't just making this game for 2026, they're making it for 2035. The Rage engine has been refined over decades. It's modular, it's scalable, it's built to evolve. When you play GTA 6 on whatever insane hardware we have in 10 years, it won't just run better, it'll actually look better, higher frame rates, better anti-aliasing, improved draw distances. The foundation is so solid that future technology will only enhance it. Compare this to games built on outdated engines or heavily reliant on specific hardware tricks. Those games get stuck in time. But GTA 6, it's built to grow. So yeah, GTA 6's graphics will age better than real life. Not because they're more realistic, but because they're more intentional, more artistic, more cinematic, more alive. Reality fades, memories blur, photos yellow, but great art lasts forever. And Rockstar isn't just making a game, they're making art. If this video changed how you see GTA 6, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment telling me what visual detail you're most excited about. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep it real, or in this case, keep it hyper real.